And why do you think you're the right person to guide me?
Well, I can't say that. I can't say that I'm the right person. The person has to know that I'm the right person. All I know is that there's many things that I've done in my life, and but when I reflect, this is my true passion. I know it. You know, I can teach music, or I can teach all manner of different things, but it feels like there's so many people adept in those areas. And there's, of course, everybody thinks they have a certain spirituality, and they do. Everybody does. Whether they know it or not, whether they're moving like a snail or not, they're on a spiritual path. So this is not for me to present myself as some kind of elite thing. I don't want people to look at me like I'm some kind of Superman, which often happens. That's what people are often looking for with spiritual guidance. They're looking for some Superman to make it all right for them. I don't want to present like that. I want to present as a partner or a friend who can just say, I know my limitations, but I also know that what I was designed to do. And I also can only live from my own passion. And I can only live from my highest passion. And that is, and always has been, representing and translating for a world that has thrown these aside, the depths of these paths and the depths of these techniques and experiences. And if there were hundreds of I've been with some of the best teachers, or some of the most credible teachers in the world, and I just feel that whether or not I'm at their level, if there is such a thing as level, that's not really my business. All I know is I feel I have the capacity to meet and communicate these things in a way just as well as any of those. So hopefully that doesn't sound arrogant, but that's actually been my experience. And I look, it's in my astrology, it's in my makeup. I am a communicator, and I know that I've had deep experiences of various paths, and I just have this capacity to put them into words. And I think there's a lot of people out there who are very distrustful of spirituality and find a lot of people on the spiritual path kind of lazy or flaky and unable to express what they're experiencing in any way that's useful to them. Now there's absolutely nothing wrong for that. A person doesn't need to be able to necessarily express. I think they have to unpack things in their own mind. There are some people who don't have very complex minds who are actually still quite confused about living in the world and its paradigm alongside of what they've experienced. And so you don't, in a sense, I'm appealing to, hopefully, to people more and more who can do with that kind of explanation for their experiences, but also to people who, you'd be surprised. I've been in hundreds of satsangs, for instance, and I know there are some people who wouldn't consider themselves in need of intellectual clarification of their experience, who would say, all the mind's the problem. But just because they don't have a complex mind doesn't mean they're not confused. So you can, I believe I have the capacity to clarify for all sorts of different people, to give the experience and then clarify, to get a perspective on what it is to have a profound experience and how that relates to our lives, what appears to be what we call reality on this planet at this time. We all have hectic lives and all this kind of thing. We're all racing around. We've all filled our lives with children and mortgages and whatnot, and I don't have time. And well, how do you have a genuine path in the midst of that? And how do you understand what your role is in that and still find satisfaction without you just going, oh well, this is my bed, I have to lie in it until you die?